All right, testing, testing. Testing. How we doing tonight? Things working? Hmm. They do not appear to be. And I may know why. Thank you. Yep, things are going well, though I think something I was testing is interfering with my tracking. So give me a moment. Disable this. If that's the problem, this is going to get interesting. Nope, that's not the problem. It's just my tracking being a little extra wonky tonight. Fun. But should be good enough. So it has been a week for me. It has been a week for me. I actually have a plan for tonight. So, tonight's plan is going to be playing with demos. I've downloaded 4 demos. I don't know if we'll get through them all tonight. May continue them on Sunday. Quickly double checks the dates. Yep, so on Sunday. Don't know yet. We'll have to see. Did I say 3 demos? 4 demos. 3 of which I've been excited for. 1 of which I just found out existed, and so have not had a chance to be excited about it. We're also doing reactions tonight, so we're going to start with one of those and then move on. Wanderberg, Wild Blue Skies. Just blanked because, of course, I did. Voidling Bound and Vampire Crawlers. Can't believe I forgot Voidling Bound already, which is another little monster critter type game that's coming out. So we downloaded a bunch of demos and we'll see what's what. But first, yeah, I don't know what's going on with my tracking. We have a reaction. Brandon Herrera is doing Brandon Herrera things. Technically, I've got 5 reactions lined up that just have been building up, and it's nice to know this is still doing its thing. I have it working. I start streaming. It doesn't work anymore. Oh. Drives me nuts. Anyways. So yeah, Brainer just uploaded today the Street Sweeper shotgun, which is not what he's holding there. And we're going to start with a reaction to that. I will not be reacting to Gabriel Iglesias, since apparently I'm not allowed to. And we will move on. But you can see other videos that I want to react to. Other videos I want to react to up in the up in the bar. But in the meantime, we are starting with this, as I've just continued to talk myself in circles, I guess. Anyways, Brandon Herrera, the shotgun is so cool, it's kind of illegal.
Shotguns are based. Destructive devices are mega based. Combine the two of those things and you're reaching levels of based that shouldn't even be possible. No, you don't have to do that every time. That's right. Today we are taking a look
Too bad we're doing it every time.
Famous Street Sweeper.
It is a bit of a thing. Also marketed to ladies for a while, which is, I'm not complaining, but I do think it's hilarious.
I wanted to do that since the days where you could still say gamer words on Xbox Live.
We don't do that here.
Oh, this? I wouldn't worry about any of that. Anyway.
That is the FAMAS, which he has been talking about for a year now and still hasn't put together.
Striker 12. Striker? I hardly know her. That's not going to age well. Yes, this is the Striker 12 gauge shotgun. This one was made by S&S. It's listed as S/S on the front. It's not SS, despite the lightning bolt. It is a semi-automatic, more or less, 12 gauge shotgun. So we're going to show you a little bit about how it works, because it is kind of unique. For one, this shotgun actually has a loading gate. So you actually pull that lever up there and you have access to where the ammunition goes. Different rounds, like a giant 12 gauge revolver essentially. And you wind it, you'd never guess it, from the big windy gear in the front. So you just sit here and load the spring tension, which then allows you to cycle through. Now that was with the gun on safe. With the gun on safe, it won't actually fire. It's not a SIG. That was just a cheap shot. That wasn't fair. I'm sorry. But when you put...
It was very fair. Also, more guns need that. A lot of guns that cost way more than that, because that's just stamped trash, but made into a shotgun shape. It can do that. Better guns can't. What are people doing?
Push through the safety, then it engages the striker, no pun intended, to actually fire. And then you can hear it there. So when the gun firing pin engages, and then you can hear when I let off the trigger, it rotates to the next round. Real quick, just to bitch a little bit, it is impossible to overstate just how dog shit this trigger pull is. Like, look at how I'm pulling this trigger. Okay. This is now heavier than any rifle trigger I've ever fired, I'm pretty sure.
Reminder that he's fired the most in the gun,
just
which
now
is
rotated the cylinder.
famous
and now
for
I
a
have
terrible
to pull
trigger.
through that. Even harder to get to the actual striker itself, no pun intended. So like you have to really like pull down on that and really just like jerk at the fucking trigger to even get a shot off. And before we filmed this video, I gave this to other gun guys and I warned them how heavy the trigger pull was. And there's a very real chance you could just advance the round without setting off the striker. And that's what a lot of them were doing. They thought that that was the trigger pull. It's like a fake trigger pull and you have to really just pull through it. It's stiff as fuck. This is definitely one of the designs of all time. It's garbage, but it's my garbage. Hands off my
See
trash.
what I say?
I
It's
have a
just
new tech
shotgun-shaped collection
Warren,
of trash.
And I'm going to use it to open my new tack back. Oh, dear Lord, that's sharp.
Zero effort. TacPack is the ultimate box subscription service for tactical gear, including stuff like tactical swag. Wait, was that Nodzilla? SOG knives, mag pouches, mag blocks, AR parts, and more. Which is to say, more AR parts. So the standard TAC Pack is $59.95 shipped, and then the TAC Pack Plus is $139.95 shipped.
Yeah.
The stuff inside the March TAC Pack
Maintaining
Plus
your
is
knives is
going
good.
to be worth $282. On top of that, if you use the code AKGUY, you get a free $60 tactical gift. So if you're interested, be sure to check out TAC Pack using the links in the description and in the pinned comment. We appreciate TAC Pack for being an awesome sponsor as always. We'd also like to thank the Sonoran Desert Institute. I actually talked to these guys at SHOT Show, and they're adding a bunch of cool new elements to their curriculum, including a lot more in-person hands-on stuff, including teaching lathe work, which I think is actually incredibly useful for gunsmiths. So anyway, if you ever wanted to get your start in gunsmithing and weapons technology and you're not sure where to look, maybe consider checking out sdi.edu using the links in the description and in the pinned comment. ADD break. So once again, we have our Echelon penetration test. We've got our Atomic Cola flavor here and our, street sweeper here. Time to clean up the streets. Get this delicious beverage off the streets and whatever else.
I
Jake,
still want to do
destroy
like
the target
gamer
stand,
subs, but
I
with
apologize in
Echelon.
advance. Clean
I'm
up
just
the
gonna say
streets
F
in
it and
3,
send the message.
2,
Hey, dude, can I get a VTuber flavor? Did he miss?
I only shot the target stand.
How do you miss
We're
that
not gonna talk
badly
about that.
at 5
All right, now that
feet?
we've made some adjustments in 3, 2, 1. There we go.
He's still shot low.
Available at drinkechelon.com. Now, as for ejecting the shells
What
when
the
you're
heck?
completely finished shooting through the cylinder,
Brandon, you're better than
you
this.
open that loading gate back up, and then you have this little rod here that actually just kicks them out, kind of like so. It's very similar in premise to, like, say, a regular revolver. This one here, you take this out the side, you flip it around where you can actually see this. You got your
You
plunger
have
right
a
there
single
that when
action
you push
army.
Out, you
Use
can
that to
dump
show
your
it.
rounds and then reload your gun. This is actually a gun that's very special to me. This is, you'd think a pretty unremarkable Smith & Wesson. This gun was actually gifted to me by, a couple friends, some of my shop boys, at the end of my last congressional race as a congratulations for getting out of politics. It didn't age well. But why they chose this one is why I love my friends. This was the gun that Bud Dwyer used to, be the reason why you know the name Bud Dwyer. The alternative way of ending a political career. So I think they were congratulating me on finally being done with having to deal with the race. Either that or they were encouraging me to give myself the Bud Dwyer nosebleed. Either way, I appreciate the gun. It's very special to me. But one of the other differences between the revolver and the striker is that, so this being a double action revolver, when you pull the trigger, it is the action of pulling the trigger that advances the cylinder forward. On the striker itself, it's wound, so you have to manually wind it. So, I'm gonna pull the trigger
I
up.
feel like I
You can
should,
see
but
it
I'm
starts
not
to slow
placing him
down.
right now.
So it no longer has the energy. It's getting a little sluggish until it just doesn't go anymore. But then you have to wind it. And then now, it moves with purpose. It's also worth noting that because you have to manually eject the rounds on this, the rounds actually stay contained within the cylinder after you've emptied the entire gun, which is a really neat feature, just in case there was a scenario where you wanted to go through about 10 rounds of buckshot and not have to worry about picking up your shells. Makes cleanup real easy. So you can go out, shoot all those rounds, and already have your brass collected for when you get home. So it's great for reloading, and nothing else. But of course, one of the coolest and most iconic features of the
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I was not aware of that. Oh. Oh boy. I assumed it was something along those lines. I didn't realize it was that bad. What I was going to say before that was that ironically Cobra, who bought this after the first company rolled up and is famous for making even crappier guns, actually made models with an auto ejection. It is stupid. Photo was right before. Oh boy. When you said that, I kind of figured that it was going somewhere like that. I didn't realize how bad it was. Oh boy.
Striker, or the Street Sweeper, is the folding stock. So what you have here is a little button on the side, because this plate has 2 holes. So this is a little plunger in the receiver. We're going to push that in.
It's really crappy.
And then this whole stock folds up.
As the whole gun is.
Hand it out of the way there. And it relocks there on the other hole. And now you have the Street Sweeper. This is really cool. Just what you think of when you think of the Street Sweeper. Like, that's just neat. The gun doesn't currently have really much in the way of sights anyway, so this is not much less effective, and I would say looks significantly cool.
To be fair, most shotguns don't have sights, period. You're lucky if you get a little bead on the end.
Cooler. But to deploy it back out, you just hit that same button, and this stock folds back, and you're ready to shoulder it and sweep the street full of clay pigeons. It's a sporting shotgun. I think this is actually still the same ballistic dummy we used for the Reagan assassination attempt breakout video. And then at one point he was stabbed in the gut down there because I think we needed fake blood for something. As you can tell, he's still a little leaky. But the problem is these ballistic dummies get a little old if you don't use them, so it's kind of moldy in the back, and frankly, it's gross, and I'm tired of having it in my house, so I guess we'll clean that up. So obviously you would never use something like this against a person by any means, but just in case you have to defend yourself against a 200-pound raccoon. That's my person, I don't know you!
Brandon, what?
Oh, no you don't.
Stop missing!
I had a campaign event in like 2 hours. Change.
Yeah, that's not fresh anymore.
Looks like these streets are swept. Well, aside the obvious injuries, I don't think he's going to be thinking too hard about.
I don't think Brandon thinks that far ahead.
It's kind of cool. You see some of the buckshot is actually just stuck in various places in the dummy. That's kind of cool. I've already ruined the shirt. Later, asshole. Gross. Now, another thing that makes the Striker 12 unique is actually really fucking annoying. So because of a few Daddy Bush import laws, this shotgun is actually not legal for import as anything other than what I had to purchase it as, which is a destructive device. Meaning this 12-gauge shotgun is regulated exactly as tight as this 40mm grenade launcher, or that 20mm anti-tank rifle. It's because it is a shotgun that apparently has no sporting purpose. Normally under American gun laws, this would just be considered an SBS or a short-barreled shotgun because the 12-gauge shotgun barrel length is under 18 inches, I believe. See? More than size matters. Yeah, the real motherfucker about it is this objectively better 12-gauge shotgun, the Saiga 12, with a bigger drum magazine, a detachable drum magazine, is regulated like a regular 12-gauge shotgun. Not a destructive device. Available over the counter, 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
Can I please brag about ATF?
No, ma'am, not yet.
No, you
may
can't.
not. So yeah, long story short, once again, NFA is gay. But if you went through all the paperwork, you actually could, a civilian can actually do the paperwork to register this as a destructive device. It is still theoretically possible for you to own. Me, because of my licensing, I am an 0702 firearm manufacturer with SOT, which means I actually get to have 2 destructive devices on my license per year. I still had one left over at the very end of last year, and I immediately had to go out and find one of these because I have always wanted one, and I just thought that they were hella cool. So was happy to use one of my 2 DDs on this right here. The second coolest type of double Ds I can think of. Did his brains actually blow out the back of the head?
Some of them landed on top of my head.
Oh, I'll get that for you. Yeah, see, there you go. Not too bad. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Street Sweeper. It's kind of a piece of shit, but 4 out of 10 is a shotgun. 10 out of 10 for cool points. Very glad to finally add one of these to my collection. I've wanted one forever. Just realized it busted my fucking thumb open. My blood's all over this gun. You should get checked. I don't even know where I've been. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you staying all the way to the end of the video. We've got more stuff coming up, and I appreciate you for sticking along for the ride. I'm gonna go change my shirt before I gotta go be serious again, and I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks. Now, another weird fact about the Striker 12. Loud suddenly. Let me grab a grenade launcher. What a cool sentence. If you want to take that clip. Oh, that
really
hurt it. I caught it with my boot. I'm sure he's got a bright future ahead of him. Future doctor here. Future doctor. Engineer. Lawyer, perhaps. Statistic.
Cool. So that was fun. But yeah, I like how, as much as he likes it, even he is sitting there saying, no, it's a piece of trash. There's no getting around it. It is a piece of trash, and we just like it because we like it. That is very realistic. Let me see if I can find real quick. I actually think we watched. Did we watch the Kentucky Ballistic one, right? A long time ago. This is the Cobra version. It is still a junker.
Length of this is, but it's absolutely ridiculous and a ton of fun to shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see him ejecting out. I just wanted to do a quick show that Cobra, which makes a crappier version.
And a ton of fun to shoot.
Thanks for that demonstration, Scott. Yeah, just had to show you, because you can see it looks junkier. Yeah, smacking him right in the face with the shells, too. But it is, in fact, an auto-ejecting version. All right, so what we are going to do... He's built it, yeah. Also... I mean, there's much worse brass to get hit in the face with anyways. What we are going to do is take a short little break. I'm going to run the Twitch ads while I step away for a minute. And then we are going to come back and start our first demo of the night. Wanderberg. It's pretty clear what inspired this game. Well, I say that, but actually I'm not sure that most of you guys would know what it is. Well, we'll find out shortly. There we go. Should be back. Wonderbag. That's what I said. So I have done a little bit of the demo. As far as I can tell, this is the only actual area in the demo. You can preview other areas, but that's about it. So yeah, we cannot pick any of the 3 other types of rolling fortress. We start with only 1 captain, but we can actually unlock more. Start with only 1 crew, but we can unlock more. Start with 4 weapons! And I think we're gonna start with probably with the battering ram, so we have a front attack. Though, in games like this, you'll want the mines very quickly because you saw how big enemies can get. Mines are how you deal with enemies that are bigger than you. Yeah, the poor 1 guy on the crank. Overtime bonus, crew works 10% faster. Immediate upgrade, cool. Improved damage. Get back here. You always want, at least when I approach any game like this, I want to get the automatic stuff up first, and anything with cooldowns. Well, anything with cooldowns is always a priority. Okay. Higher rare stuff, auto take. If not, anything with priority. If not, anything automatic. Ah! Mines. Cooldowns! Go. Just leave unpleasant surprises for everyone wherever we go. That is a big swarm. Up, see? Cooldown and rare. Oh, you're shooting at me. Ow. Where was that help? That's a big thing. Oh, that is the big thing. Yeah, see, you just wander around and leave mines everywhere, and then everyone else just has to deal with it. Need more help. That was a concerning noise. Help! Thank you. Oh, no, you're still here. Wait, can I keep you in front of the big guy? Can I keep you in front of the big guy? Big guy, get him! Big guy, get him! Need more help. Stop shooting at me! Deal with those. Help! Speed, please. Which just auto-healed me, so there was no point in... Okay, sure. Alright, there's the big guy. We're just going to not deal with him right now. Please. Please, thank you. Thank you for the help. Yeah, you guys could just deal with that big guy. Much easier to catch these guys now. Health. Who is that? You look important. They did not give me anything important. more gold. Missed. Got you. Nope, that was my money. You stay away from me. Help, help, give me the help! Need more health. Tower needs help, badly. Yes, please. Thank you. Still need more health. Out of range. No. That sounds unhappy. Let's just not deal with the boss right now. Sure. Can I get more help, please? Don't have any magic. And I don't think the cannon set anything on fire. I hope I'm wrong. Health, please. Health, please. That boss is actively chasing me. Oh, I'm dead. Let's unlock something and then try again. And I know what I want to unlock because like I said, I've already checked this out a little bit. No! I forgot how much he cost. I could spend all my earnings on the carpenters. That'll just... No, we're gonna see if we can do another run to get the vampire. I don't know how it decides if they go flying or not. Deal with that problem. But I've hit the towers and the small houses before and they haven't gone flying like that. And they haven't died instantly. Come here. I don't think I'm gonna ever have friendly units, but sure. And there's a... Oh, wait, no. Don't, get away from me. Okay, deal with that. Help, please. Thank you. Thank you. No, no, thank you. Nope. Yes, please. I'm not really in a position to take out that barracks just yet. No, yes. When I get the cannons, I will. Either the cannon or the mortar. Maybe we'll grab the mortar this time. Thank you. They saw my dodge. Deal with that. So, I wonder if anyone knows what this is from. Or, I want to say that this is taking inspiration from it, but I don't actually know that it is. Health, please. Thank you. Very kind. Bye. Oh, gold. Yeah, let's do the mortar this time. Aha! All the money, please. No, though that's a very good reference, but specifically in terms of this kind of fighting, mortal engines, but yes. I need to stop reading chat. Now, I don't technically know if this is directly Mortal Engines or not, though it certainly feels like it. Ooh. Well, it's one of them, but yes. Thank you for your help. Yeah, the health crates do not give a lot. I want to see if the vampire is better. Actually, I'm gonna try something here. That did not do a lot of damage. So he's just gonna continue to be a problem for a while. Oh! Thank you for... So, to the Valora people, I apologize. Welcome, and thank you for the raid, and thank you for following. I don't know why it's not linking in the regular chat. And I apologize for that. I thought I fixed that. But thank you. Box and Box. Hello, welcome. Hope the night finds you well. Hope you're all having a good time. What were you doing? Well, I got distracted by the raid. Yeah, I still gotta figure out Valora more, but I do like having more places to stream to. Thank you for following. Oh, many follows. Thank you. Welcome. Sole developer of the site and apps. Holy smokes. Wow, very welcome then. Holy crap, I did not realize that. Run until you fly. Well, the site looks pretty good. I'm just very new to it and haven't quite figured my way around yet. It looks very good, and I like that you have so much unlocked from the beginning. While I have the developer of the site in front of me, I'm gonna say this. It has been a major pet peeve of sites that are like, nope, you get everything locked until you have like 50 followers or 75 followers or whatever. For small people like me, having that stuff unlocked from the beginning is huge. So, big thank you. Why gatekeep all behind stupid little things from the game? Exactly! Because then, if a whole bunch of small people use the stuff, you get to benefit from that. Sorry, I'm trying to see if there's anything I can do. Like, who the F should have to grind arbitrary numbers just so the friend can send a sub or, you know, bolts, bits, whatever? Exactly! I have been saying this for literal years. No, I was not initially told this. I gotta figure out why. OG Mixer partner, I've been around way too long this year. Guess what? So am I. I was early to Mixer too. But it was at a time when I couldn't stream very often. Yeah, I was at Mixer when it was Beam. I may have been one of the first 100 people to join Mixer or Beam. Quiet, you. I'm being nostalgic now. Yeah, Beam had all the good ideas, and then it was bought by Facebook, and Facebook gutted it, and everyone else stole the good ideas and didn't implement them as well. Back when the Forza Mixer integrations came out, my first sponsor was Turn 10 Playground Games. Nice! I never got streaming sponsors, because I mostly only stream during the Extra Life charities time, and mostly just made videos for YouTube otherwise. So we may or may not have, but I like joined immediately. It was better than Twitch then. It's if it was still around, it'd still be better than Twitch now. Well, cool! Running into someone from the old Mixer Beam days. And the owner and creator of Valora. Holy smokes. Yeah, that is unexpected. Alright. I guess we're gonna do one more run since we're so close to Vampire, and then we're gonna see how Vampire does. I thought Beam was bought by Microsoft and rebranded it to Beam. Sorry, Twitch back then is better than Twitch. He said, okay, that's fair. Yeah, it started as Beam, and then it became Mixer, and then it died. And then it became Facebook game streaming, which no one used because it was Facebook. I mean, I'd like to think Valora is gonna eventually be the true successor to Mixer because no one has managed that yet, and Valora isn't there yet either, but I mean, keep you busy. Can't wait for Sounds of Stickers to launch for you. I can't wait either. Brain, stop it. Yeah, you are sadly competing with BeamStream.gg, who have also said, one of their devs has also said they were inspired by Beam/Mixer. So there's two of you trying to be the successor. Yeah, I'm part of both of you. I'm streaming to both sites right now. Which, I say that, but it's through the BeamStream.gg that I found out about Valora. Actually. Because they have you listed as one of the official places to stream to. Like, you can they do restreaming built in. Oh, I know the Beam people, they're partners. We have the... Okay, so you already know. I was gonna say, I was like, wait a minute, but they do have you listed officially. So you know them. Okay. So maybe there won't be a succession war. It'll just happen. Sweet. I can get behind this plan. What you need to do, if I may say, because I haven't been able to fix it on my end, is you need to poke Social Stream Ninja. They saw what I was doing, asked if they could have an official integration path. I said, sure. That is the right way to do it. Sweet. Well, congratulations then. Yeah, if I've been trying to figure this out, and I can't get it to work. So while you're talking about authorizing with third parties, so Social Stream Ninja is what I use to combine all of my chat and do the chat relay. It's how I have the ZyChat bot set up. But for some reason, while it will put what people in other streams type into Valora, it will not read Valora's chat for some reason. So it doesn't relay it over to, well, sometimes it relays it. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it relays it to other sites, sometimes it doesn't. But it never brings it up on my screen chat. Like, you could see Up to No Good and the Rippy one over here chatting, but you guys aren't popping up. And I have tried, well, it's not even about you doing something about the code. It's just about you saying, hey, we're a streaming site. You as Social Stream Ninja have built out to work with all these sites. Can you do that for us too? I've been seeing if I could fix it. I haven't been able to. I'm just saying maybe as an actual streaming site, you'll have a little bit of leeway to get them to try to do something. Yeah, I'm not asking you to fix it. I'm just asking, can you reach out to that? Can you just say, hey, we exist, basically. I'm not asking you to fix it. I'm just asking, maybe your bug report will carry more weight than mine because you are actually Valora the site. I hope that makes sense. And I apologize if that's a big ask. It's just sort of like a wish list thing. That it's like, I spent weeks on this. I have someone more important than me, I might as well ask. Much appreciated. Get back here. I want to maximize the mine ability when I get the options. Yeah, and I'm gonna keep. It's not like I'm gonna stop troubleshooting on my end. I'm just out of ideas. But if I do figure it out, I'll just post a guide on what you need to do. Go away. Not you. The guy just ran. Very much appreciated. Yeah, because they're set up that you could just set up generically to a site, which is what I have set up right now. And then they have a lot of options that you can tweak, which is what I'm playing with. It's just nothing I've done has worked so far. Oh. Yeah, I just, like I said, it's like, holy smokes, I have someone important. I might as well ask. And it's very appreciated. Just the site is very appreciated. It felt very Beam-like. Well, not past tense. It feels very Beam-like. I think I said that the first time I found the site. Rippy, Updude, do either of you remember if I said that when I first found the site? Well, okay, fair. You already said you don't remember what you had for breakfast. You said something similar? Sweet. I thought I did, but it's like all of a sudden... Now, I don't know if I remember saying that or just thinking that. You leave me alone. The guy shooting at me, not you guys. Oh no, multitasking problems. Ah! Thank you, health. Thank you, health. Oh, and just for compliments of a user, absolutely love the YouTube VOD upload. Holy smokes. I already stream to YouTube, so it's only semi-useful to me. But it's one of those things where it's like, holy smokes, why don't more platforms do this? And that's why landmines! Mortar worked better than the cannons last time, so we're gonna go with mortar again. Ah! I mean, look, Twitch has run its course after the last couple really terrible Twitch cons with bad happenings. I'm amazed they haven't ousted Clancy. Kick is getting worse as time goes on. Yeah, it's been bad, and something that only people really involved with us VTubers see is just how bad Twitch is for VTubers. A lot of their people have been actively caught saying that they hate VTubers and want us off the platform, but they can't just ban VTubers because someone will sue. Oh, absolutely. Using YouTube to store the VODs for you guys. So much server space saved. 100%. Help. I don't need more swarms. Nope, you go away. Working with YouTube, though, that's... Because I've seen some others that are like auto-upload to YouTube that don't work with them. Like Rumble. And then YouTube's like, no, we don't want you auto-uploading to us. Go away. Working with them is such a great sign. Excuse you. guys could just deal with that. Oh, well, that's not good. I think I'm probably going to be good in the next run, but I don't know how much longer this run's going to last. Guess I could find some darn help. Not now! Help. Nope! Nope! Excuse you? All right, last run. Vampire! And we can get some extra stuff, so... Cannot get that extra stuff. Can we get... No. Oh, that's too expensive. I guess we'll just go for the extra gold. Where's Golden Spartan when you need him? He's all about making videos on new sites. Well, when he's not asking awkward questions. I got permaban on Twitch after being hate rated for being... That has been a major problem. I've got a couple, safety things in place. Yeah, they have been That is a lot of health from the vampire. Yeah, the hate raid attacks have been very bad. You gotta have a quick button for it. Well, mechanically what happens is they see the chat is doing things and assume the chat is indicative of the streamer. Also, realistically, they're happy to have an excuse to get rid of anyone that isn't their top streamers anyways. I say as I'm actively streaming to Twitch, but you know. No arguments here. Deal with those. You might want to check some of the stuff from this past TwitchCon. I'm not gonna get into it on stream too deep, but you can find some stuff from this past TwitchCon, particularly around Emiru and her situation. You know, there's better people than me to actually get what happened. To get to explain what happened, but yeah. As a VTuber, I'm basically just waiting for my turn to get banned as well. Yep. Yeah. I'm pretty convinced that the only reason why I haven't been banned yet is because I'm so small that if I get banned on Twitch, it'll just be more PR, which they don't want to give me. Nope. You stay away from me. Very much appreciated, Elder. Very much appreciated. I will do my best to be worthy of the site and the legacy that you seek to seek to inherit. It remains very cool that you're bringing back, because I am sad that I was not able to do Beam/Mixer the way I wanted to when they were big. So a chance at round 2 is great. Yeah, the mortar's been serving me well. Hey, you never know if you're writing songs. If you're writing songs, I may talk to you. I do need, like, some of my own music. Yeah, the Count's an amazing pilot for this. course, you've already said your hands are pretty full, so me asking that may not be great. I do not know why none of the chats are playing nice, and it's driving me nuts. Holy smokes! That's wild. Health plays. Yeah, Count is an amazing pilot. Thank you very much. I'm gonna get in front of this guy and do another mortar barrage. That mortar barrage did next to nothing. Thank you for all the free health. You go out, you get out of the way. I might not be. I might have meant to and then went to sleep because it's like right after stream. I might have meant to and then didn't. Thank you. I will fix that. It's fine. You're the site owner. I will ignore that set of rules for you. And I got distracted. But holy smokes, the count's amazing. Yeah. Speedrun to the count. Count's easy mode. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Run. I feel like for the owner of the streaming site, there could be an exception for please do not stream. That is going to be the last run for this, though. We're not done streaming. I am going to take a short break. Only sorta. Yeah, I'm gonna take a very short break. Gonna appease the Twitch gods. Imagine CEO shut himself out, chat. Yeah. And then... what time is it? I think we can afford to do another react and then move on to the next demo for the night. Wild Blue Skies! Star Fox, but better, theoretically. I don't know. I hope. Alright, I will be back in a couple minutes. Okay, cool. For those of you in chats that can't see what's going on with Laura, things are happening. Alright, I will be back in a couple minutes. I have no idea when the Twitch ads are going to be over because I cannot see them. Because Twitch is broken. One minute and 20 seconds. Thank you. If Twitch just wanted to like hire me for a week, I could straighten out some of it. I mean, that's a lot of. Well, I say that, but I mean, you actually did go and build your own site, so. I mean, you'd accept the offer, but I would be very careful about the kind of non-competes they'd foist on you. Oh, like I'd actually I misread what you said there. All right, I've been drinking water most of the night. I am getting some caffeination. Ad's done. All right, give me a sec. So, I thought we'd do something a little different than what I normally do and watch some Casual Geographic. How crows gave Earth's biggest city the middle finger. Well, in my hand, not my job. My job is getting Valora things for Valora people and music. Very cool. All right, so we're just gonna. I think I figured out what's wrong with my tracking. My lame brain forgot to turn on one of my face lights. Oh, yeah. That's much better. Good grief, am I stupid. All right, Casual Geographic, here we come. How crows gave Earth's biggest city the middle finger.
Do you have any idea how stressful a street war with birds would be? No, you don't.
Exceedingly.
Because you don't live in Tokyo.
I have seen the birds.
Tokyo has a gang problem. The problem is the members aren't human and can fly. At one point, there were more than 36,000 crows crowding the eastern capital. Thanks to the...
For those who don't know, that's an actual movie. That's not just me being stupid. That's an actual movie.
Massive amounts of trash produced
an actual horror movie
by the city each year. Crows are basically monkeys minus thumbs, but with unlimited airtime, and as corvids, along with others like ravens, jackdaws, and magpies, make up the smartest group of things with wings on the planet. Smart enough to use cars as nutcrackers, only to collect when the walk sign's on, and smart enough to memorize garbage routes for different parts of the city, just to snatch trash before the workers do. But a habitual feather menace won't just wait for you to trash it, as Tokyo crows have robbed people to steal their loot. The bird called Garasu has bloodied the faces of school children while trying to make off with candy, and have even broken into classrooms to raid lunchboxes. They'll also storm zoos for a living lunch, often in the form of kidnapping baby prairie dogs and ducklings. Not to mention they'll attack livestock, pecking at the udders and causing cuts that can lead to infection. That is if they don't just bleed out. In 2017, Tokyo's government received over 600 complaints of civilians thrashed by the aerial urbanite, with most coming in the spring, their nesting season. Which brings another problem. Crows nesting in utility poles have caused blackouts, and using fiber optic cables as material has brought down entire broadband networks, one time even shutting down high-speed bullet train service in Akita. Hundreds of millions in yen are spent each year removing nests, with the Hokuriku Electric Company stripping 15,880 in 2018. Yet somehow the crows seem to shake it off. How? Well, because the crows started making decoy dummy nests to lead them away from the real ones. Crows and
They don't just make decoy dummy nests. I don't know if he's going to get this. But you know those bird spike strips that you can get that are like basically barbed wire? Crows will tear them up and make their nests out of them. So they have armored, defended nests.
Tokyoites have been beefing for years, but it didn't escalate until a certain event in 2001, when one crow decided to dive bomb a man while he was playing golf. That man was Governor Shintaro Ishara, and he swiftly declared conflict on the corvids, with promises of changing Japan's national dish to crow pie. Since then, it's been on site and flight, with the government trying everything to combat a vindictive air terrorist, employing hawk mercenaries to try to fight fire with feathers, and even installing beehives in the heart of Ginza, so the Ginpachi can give the crows a taste of arguably even more of a flying crash out. But one thing about Japan, you don't with the Yakuza, and these air gangsters have been testing people in ways arguably no other city animal ever has. And for all humanity's hubris, this might be the one time we have to eat crow. And not in the way that Chiji had in mind. So how did a bird manage to humble a nation the most since the Emu War of 32? Because at least emus are damn near dinosaur size. Well, like almost everything else, it started with our garbage. Tokyo produced 3.52 million metric tons
we should
of
be
trash
afraid of
in
crows.
2001,
Crows are
and in
smart and
1994,
dangerous.
The government switched from black plastic bags for curbside pickup to semi-see-through calcium carbonate options. The intent was to reduce environmental impact, but a consequence was the Scavenge Happy could now see what was in the bags and had a much easier time finding takeout. In recent years, Tokyo has seen a rise in bears and boars commuting into the city for trash, and wild macaques have continued to be a problem. But according to a wildlife management study, out of the 10 major invasive
All right. Perfect. So talk, look up what? Shush. All right. Yeah. That is a horrific combination. So you got the monkeys, which are extremely smart and have thumbs. You have the birds, which are extremely smart and can fly. You have the bears, which are extremely strong and just don't like to die. And you have the boars, which are just hate. They're just the embodiment of hate. Boars are technically not as durable as a bear. But here's the thing. A dying bear, unless it's particularly rage-filled, will sort of stumble away and try to like save its life. No. A boar will actively speed up its death if it means it gets to kill you in the process. Because I never know when Google will betray me. Boar spears there we go. The reason that boar spears are made as a winged spear is because if you stab a boar with the spear, it will continue running up the rest of the spear to try to get to you. So putting the wings on the spear are to keep it on this end of the spear. So while we're focusing on crows, I cannot stress how dangerous boars / wild hogs are. They are hatred incarnate. Like, They are literally demons from anime levels of pulling the spear through their body so they can kill you before they die. That's not an exaggeration. That is very literal. That is very literal. So Japan just has problems. You've got smart birds, smart monkeys, and two of the toughest, most dangerous land animals. They might not be the fastest or the most stealthy, but they are the ones most likely to just decide that you need to die so they can keep eating.
Species, it was crows that caused the highest percentage of harm, and it was also crows that people were most in favor for lethal measures against. The gag is, crows in Tokyo aren't invasive, people just hate them off principle. But if just liking trash was the only barrier of entry, Japan would have more problems than a flying black Air Force. The problem is, crows had a counter for almost everything thrown at them. First is that crows have great memories and hold grudges. In 2006, remember that year, the University of Washington conducted an experiment where 7 crows were trapped and eventually released by people wearing scary masks. Not too long after, study leader Professor John Marsloff was strolling the campus with a mask when 47 out of the 53 crows he encountered violently rejected to his presence. Each following year, the number of vindictive, on-site campus crows grew and peaked in 2013, even though at this point, they'd only see the mask twice a year for a few hours, and especially even though most of the crows on the offensive weren't even alive at the start of the study. It wasn't until September 2023 that the harassment eventually stopped, and it probably wasn't even that they forgot, just that it took 17 years for them to drop the vendetta. There's also the implication that crows can communicate so well that even those born after the study could instantly tell which masks meant bad. So yeah, that memory is good for more than just garbage routes. You do wrong by a crow, you're screwed for a very long time, which Tokyoites have learned the stressful way. One man, Hiroshi Takaku, saw a couple of his colleagues being attacked by a few crows and fended them off by swinging his belt. The crows backed off, but the next day, they returned to work to find hundreds of crows posted up on their building of business, waiting for them. So safe to say, conventional extermination doesn't really work on an animal that can learn the look of the workers doing it and will mob them on sight. They also tried traps where they'd bait the crows with food like lard and then gas the captured crows with carbon monoxide. But not only was that method way more costly than it was worth, they didn't expect a group of goth tweeties named Murder to turn death into a life lesson. Crows have funerals, but not the kind that you think where they mourn the dead. In fact, they're more like okay, anyway. When a crow sees another dead crow, it'll often call out to the surrounding birds and they'll all gather around the fallen member to investigate the cause of death. A study even found that the sight of the deceased triggers activation in the part of the brain associated with higher order decision making. Because crows understand cause and effect, enough to realize that a threat to one is a threat to all, so they'll recruit others to investigate the cause of death. It's why crows will sometimes avoid a field for years if they see a past tense crow there once. The same study also found that crows will harass any human seen near the corpse, likely pinning the death on them, but will also do the same if they see a human with a hawk, probably realizing that a hawk and a human can equal a bad time. So mass crow killings barely put a dent in the population, and speaking of hawks, they weren't as effective as the government hoped, as although big enough hawks will murk crows, crows will use their numbers to effectively mob birds of prey and chase them off. You see where I'm going with this, right? These Flyinsteins had a counter for everything. The Tokyo terrors would avoid areas with traps, and any crow deaths were likely reported on and adjusted for by the greater crow community. And let me just remind you that crows were—
This is why I hate this. I hate that I know this, and I hate to speak in such cruel terms about it. But this is why if you're dealing with crows, there are two ways that are sort of getting to being the more effective means of dealing with them. Though you still have to be very careful about how. The first is pellet guns from a concealed position. This is how you take out crows without them immediately knowing to target you. They can still sometimes figure it out, so you gotta be careful. But it's a ranged means of taking them out, and it can be a bit more difficult for them to be able to figure out how to retaliate. The other one, and this is where things get bad, is to then basically trap the first dead crow. Because then they will call in all the other crows to figure out how it died, and then you get more crows And then any crows that survived or saw what happened start to think, oh, we can't investigate. If we see dead, we just have to move on. You still have to be very careful with how you do these. Those are two of the primary ways to deal with this, and as you can probably guess, they are annoyingly work intensive for handling crows, especially in these large amounts. Now, people are like, well, why don't you just shoot them? You're in a city. That's what the pellet gun is for, because a regular firearm is going to be a problem. Also, in Japan, they're banned.
Out here making decoy nests to slow their human ops down. Even with the Crow cavalry falling from its near 40,000 population peak, in 2010 there were still an estimated 20,000 running the naked city, causing the government to get even more creative. This is how bad it got. Tokyo had researchers studying more than 10,000 different crow sounds and isolating the specific sound they make in response to a predator, and playing those calls on loudspeakers near trash sites. Basically what pilot whales do to orcas, Japan had to resort to with a bird. But really, the only thing that made a difference was regulating the very problem that caused it. People started covering their trash with blue protective tarps, and Utsunomiya University professor Shuei Sugira helped develop a special yellow garbage bag that the crows couldn't see through. And it had to be a very specific yellow or else it wouldn't work. Many places like restaurants in Ginza pivoted to having their garbage collected at night, instead of the crows' prime time of late morning. But by far, the most effective measure was just making less trash in the first place. And Tokyo's 3.52 million metric tons of trash in 2001 was cut down to 2.45 million in 2024. Eventually, the crow numbers would start to chip away, and in 2026, the population is only 20% of its peak 2 decades ago. That was the only way a trash terrorist was going to be beat, as bird experts noted that the traps would only work on younger, dumber crows, and that the birds even figured out how to work around the protective tarps. But some experts worry that the war isn't over, that it's only a matter of time before the next wave of street-smart crow fiends rise up again. Crows are just too smart to be defeated by conventional methods, because crows are not a conventional bird. In fact, they might have the most unconventional form of self-defense. Crows are the biggest trolls in the animal kingdom, and I don't
know why it's
so what if I
standing
told
on
you
its
the
wings?
rage bait's strategic? Let me explain. Crows are omnivore
Oh, yeah.
opportunists.
I know where
A lot
this
of
is
those
going. I've
opportunities
seen this
come from
too.
Scavenging, but scavenging can put them up against much bigger, more powerful predators. So crows will often be so annoying that they force the competition to rage quit. And they'll do this by pulling feathers, and they'll do this to some of the largest birds of prey. Stellar sea eagles are big enough to catch an AI accusation, but a crow will still tail check them. And in this video, you start to see why. With this crow pulling up on 2 turkey vultures,
I've seen this video.
baiting one of them until the vulture finally has enough and makes it the bystander's problem, allowing the crow access to the bird bath. An even more extreme example was a crow arriving at a fresh carcass and waiting for stronger vultures to tear into the hide he couldn't. And with the gift box open, the crow immediately started pulling tails and testing patience, until eventually the troll bird instigated a vulture brawl, during which he snuck in and stole him a piece. It seems the habitual line stepping is a way for the crow to counter brawn with brain. But crows will use troll tendencies on anything from seagulls to eagles, from deer to dogs. But there's one animal that always seems to fall for the rage bait. The number of catfights provoked by crows is actually insane. I don't know what that crow said to that cat to make him crash out like that, but surely someone's mother was involved. And then they're always right there to enjoy the violent fruits of investigation. Crows don't want
knew it
peace,
was the
they thrive
crow.
on problems. Just to hover above it like a boxing promoter. Now, it's possible the crows recognize the cats as a threat, and this
That
is a
cat
900 IQ
knew it
play
was
to
the
kill
crow.
2 birds with
Why?
one stone, but 2 cats with 1 crow. It would make sense for crows to turn cats on each other, especially if they
That
have
is
fledglings
old,
or nests
YouTube.
nearby. But crows are also smart enough to just do stuff for fun, and they're smart enough to use tools to do it. So I can 100% see crows using live cats as tools for their own amusement. Especially since in a lot of these clips, the crows don't look like they have anything to gain.
Yes,
no
pick
food,
on the
no
polar
agenda,
bear.
just free will and love of the game. So what do you think? Anti-predator measures, resource access strategy, or just pure trolling? Who's to say it's not all 3? But whatever it is, it does unlock a new level of the crow's IQ. Theory of mind is the ability to recognize that other beings have thoughts and mental states that can be used to predict or even manipulate behavior. Here's a quick test. Let's say person A puts a sandwich in the office refrigerator, but then person B comes along and takes the sandwich out the fridge and puts it in a pencil drawer. At lunchtime, where's the first place person A would look? If you have theory of mind, you'd say the fridge, because that's where A left it, and you know that they don't know that person B is a sandwich thieving waste of carbon. Now, if you're thinking, well, obviously...
The amount of people I've run into that can't do that or process hypotheticals gets kind of scary.
Well, congratulations. You have the emotional bandwidth of at least a toddler. But crows have shown advanced levels of theory of mind just by knowing that if they frustrate a cat long enough, the cat will eventually take it out on a fellow cat. Another example
I don't
is
get
crows will often
why.
hide food, but will also
It knows
pretend
it's
to
the
hide
crow.
food when
It
they
has
know they're
to.
being watched, making a big show out of it and even making sounds associated with being happy, just to keep the food stuff in their beak and hide it for real later. And it's the crows that do the stealing that are most likely to perform theft insurance, meaning they can put themselves in the mind of another crow and act accordingly. Now, I don't want to act like this is a super complex thing. Like, squirrels will do the same misdirection to protect their nuts. We're just gonna ignore that they often forget where they put them for real, and that ADHD builds forests. But of course, this got the sequel's attention, and with all their biblical
Because if you turn your back on an actual threat, you might be attacked, so you take care of the immediate threat before you... Okay, that's actually a good point. It's still dumb. It's still dumb that the cats will go seek out another problem first, but that's a fair point. It just...
Of course, this got the seagulls' attention, and with all their biblical greed, they flew over to steal again, and while the seagulls were left with the stick the crow was posturing as food, the crow was able to spin back and take the fries, their pride, and the W. Along with theory of mind, crows were also able to pass Aesop's test. In this one, the animal would need the foresight to understand that they could reach a treat in a small tube by dropping stones to raise the water level high enough. Raccoons were able to pass the test, as were apes, although they got creative, with an orangutan spitting water into the tube to grab the prize, and a chimpanzee just peeing in it. When it was the crow's turn to step to the plate, not only did they pass, they knew enough to use solid sinking objects over those that float, and understood that using the same logic with a tube full of sand made no sense. That performance put the crow on par with a 5 to 7-year-old child, which again, is pretty solid for an animal with a brain the weight of 3 nickels. Interestingly, crows did not pass the mirror test, and save for 2 European magpies, corvids in general didn't seem to recognize the bird in the mirror. But they do seem to understand the concept of reflection, with Caledonian crows able to find hidden food
That's
that was
actually
only visible
really
by
weird.
looking at a mirror from a certain angle. But forget everything I just
They're
said.
so smart, but
Did you
can't
know
figure
crows
out
can
mirrors?
understand analogy? Being able to clock an analogy like bird is to air what fish is to, water, was believed to be a strictly human trait, but studies show that primates like chimpanzees and even monkeys like baboons can learn the concept. So how do we figure out crows can too? I'm gonna explain, but first, you gotta lock in. Okay? Lock in. Alright, let's do it. So this test, led by Edward Wasserman of the University of Iowa, started off pretty simple. First, they trained 2 hooded crows to match the correct card to the sample card. They'd have 3 cards and 2 cups. The card in the middle would be the sample card, and it would be something like 2 blue circles, and the 2 cards would be on top of the 2 cups, and one card might be something like 1 red and 1 blue circle, and the other one could be a square and a triangle. See, now the crow would have to understand that the correct card would be the one that also has 2 circles, and picking the right one would reveal a juicy mealworm at the bottom of the cup. The other cup contains nothing, because wrong answers deserve nothing. Another example would be if the middle card had 2 pink squares, and option 1 had a pink circle and a pink triangle, and option 2 had 2 green triangles, then the correct answer would be the one that also has all pink. The crows passed easily. But that wasn't the experiment, that was the warm-up. Because I just described identity matching to sample, IMTS. The real test would be if they could solve relational matching to sample, or RMTS. RMTS basically means if the sample pair is AA and your options are BB and CD, then the right answer would be BB. You would pick BB. If the sample was CD and your options were EF and GG, you'd pick EF. See, now that's analogical thinking, because AA and BB aren't literally the same, but they are in terms of the relationship the letters in the pair have to each other. So right here, the crow would have to understand that because the sample card has 2 different samples, then the card with the reward would also have 2 different shapes. Nice. Alright, try it again. Bueno. Now you want to hear the kicker? They were not trained to do this. They got this on the first try. They went straight from IMTS to analogical thinking. Completely on their own. We're still talking about crows here. And Wasserman said it. It'd be one thing if they were brute forced into learning, but the fact that they were able to reason their way into the right answer on the fly, you almost have to reevaluate how smart you think they are. And that's why you're not ready for the crow revolution. Their greatest weapon is their mind.
That's
you can
from
get
the
wrecked
movie!
purely off of pattern recognition. Lisa Joyce was attacked by crows during a 4th of July celebration in Vancouver. What was weird was, out of the hundreds of people outside, Lisa was the only victim. The harassment only got worse to the point where she had to change her commute because a literal murder would be waiting for her outside on her way to work. After weeks of avian abuse, she stumbled across a local Facebook support group with women talking about their crow trauma, and other than, being Tweety's target practice, Lisa noticed, all the women had one thing in common. They all had long, blonde hair. As for why blonde bias, well, you might find your answer in Seattle. That's where science writer and fellow blonde Lynn Peoples was jogging when she took multiple bird strikes to the back of the dome. Later in her jog, she saw a man, probably having a mental episode, absolutely crashing out at the birds at the park, chasing and kicking at them, birds that included crows. He also had a long ponytail. Guess what color it was? You can catch heat from a murder as a bystander, and your only options are to move, dye your hair, or I guess you could wait in the house for 17 years like a cicada. Crow hate crimes have gotten so common, someone developed an app to track crow attacks, and crow tracks quickly gained thousands of reports. As much as I love crows, I can understand why people are terrified of them. They're the most human bird on the planet, and that is really uncomfortable to some people. Well, let me make it worse. Because corvids like crows, but especially ravens, have had a relationship with wolves that is eerily familiar. You see, corvids will scavenge off wolves' leftovers, but often it's the flying dry snitch that leads the pack to them in the first place. In return, the wolves seem to tolerate the birds picking at the meat once the wolves have ripped it open. But it's not just a business relationship, as ravens and crows have been seen playing with wolves in Yellowstone, sometimes grabbing sticks to play tug-of-war, or sometimes even flying above the wolves to get them to jump at them. The birds seem to especially favor playing with wolf pups, and naturalists watching swear by corvids having emotional bonds with specific members of the pack. Not to mention Caledonian crows, you know, the ones that pass the tube test, can not only use tools, but they'll build them, like with multiple steps. Like if you give a Caledonian a box with food and a bunch of sticks, but
I've heard
none of the
about this
sticks are
one. I
long
have
enough
not
to
heard
reach
about the wolf one.
The crow has the presence of mind to combine multiple sticks to retrieve the treat. That kind of compound tool use basically puts them at primate tier. So let's see here, able to use tools, hold grudges, wage straight up war, befriend wolves, understand analogies. Yeah, either they're the humans of birds or we're the crows of primates. And that's probably the biggest reason why people fear them. And that's gonna do it for this video. Drink water, hug your mother. I for one welcome our imminent avian overlords, just for anyone watching. Acknowledge your father, and I'ma see y'all in the next one.
Cool. I knew a decent chunk of that. Some of that I definitely didn't. He has great presentation for just practically telling you what, informing you on this stuff. So I think we're going to add him to the rotation of people that we react to. Yeah, welcome to Nightmares. Go watch the movie The Birds. Casual Geographic, everyone. How crows gave Earth's biggest city the middle finger. How the relation to Odin was formed. Oh yeah. Wasn't it? All right. Wild Blue Skies. Well, okay, another break. Probably a little bit longer. Not by too much, but a little bit longer. And then Wild Blue Skies, everyone. So I will see you guys in a little, hopefully still not too long, but still a couple minutes. Okie dokie. We return again. Let me just get this set. And then Wild Blue Skies. The indie answer to the fact that Nintendo refuses to give Star Fox love. This is probably going to be a controller game. Humble, always a good sign. Yep, there we go. I saw it coming. I saw it coming. It is a demo of an incomplete game. I'm too good at the lizard part. Oh, watch this. I would watch a series. Why are those set the way they are? Thank you for borderless by default. That's a beautiful start screen.
Long ago, the evil Grimlock,
Yes.
once decorated chief engineer of the army, launched the world into war in pursuit of total power. With the help of the Blue Bombers,
I will be your General Pepper for the evening.
General Harding and the forces of good prevailed, pushing the evil mastermind into exile. After years of peace, an armada of robotic forces has emerged from the volcanic regions of the north, spreading terror across the land. Grimclaw has returned. General Harding, unable to withstand this new attack, calls upon a new generation of Blue Bombers to liberate the world and stop him once and for all.
So we're jumping straight to 64? Don't get me wrong, 64 is my favorite. But I'd like to... I hope they plan a prequel. I will be your Lilat system for the evening. Gotta remember where my buttons are.
You're going to cut through that storm? Be careful, Bowie.
It'll take more than bad weather to stop us.
Perfect voice.
Bombs away.
Hang on, we'll get through this.
Remember, it's the demo, so...
I can't see past my nose. Looks like we're not the only ones lost.
Okay. I see why it's inverted.
What is this place?
These ruins definitely weren't on the flight plan.
I should have checked the controls. I assume they would have told me what they were.
Grimcloak, please hide in here all alone.
Watch out! This place is falling apart!
Do we really have to pick the scenic route?
This is super duper Star Fox.
You want a piece of me?
Save, save, save.
Something's up ahead! I'm going in!
Could you not? Could you not say you did?
Keep pushing forward.
Focus, team. We'll get through this.
Right, there's our rolls.
Sending a little something your way, Bowie.
I don't know who you are, but okay.
Use the boost, Bowie.
I'm definitely gonna hit crash.
Looks like the storm's easing up.
Don't go jumping the shark bombers! I'm here to stop you!
That will be your hand-eye boss for the evening.
Merely a tackle! Try not to get wet!
All the nostalgia. All of the I don't remember the controls.
I've had it up to my gills with you!
No!
Ow. I'm gonna restart from mission.
Hang on.
And we will very quickly check the controls. Oh, this does. There's no way to see what the controls are. They clearly like Outlaw Star way too much and tried to make it. Yeah. Oh, the controls are over there. I'm stupid, as usual. Alright. Banks, yes. Dodge roll, yes. Boost, brake. Blasters, charge shot. Alright, there's the bomb. Alright.
I can't see.
I actually mostly had it. I was just...
Looks like we're not the only ones lost.
What is this place?
These ruins definitely weren't on the flight plan.
Is Grimclaw's fleet hiding here all along?
You know what? Actually, I'm going to pause so I can actually see what chat says. Few scientists led a coup d'etat, went silent for years, and then suddenly attacks again. We need 4 plucky pilots to go do what our Air Force can. HR needs you to find the difference between these two pictures. Chuck is our Falco. Interesting. Chuck is already at silver health. Oops. Rob 64 standing. Apparently. Quiet you.
Watch out! This place is falling apart!
Yes, the better blasters.
Did we really have to pick a scenic route?
Something's up ahead! Cut it out, Molly!
Ow.
No time for sightseeing, boys. Keep pushing forward.
We'll get through this.
Sending a little something your way, Bowie.
Look out!
Use the boost, Bowen!
This is too much!
Looks like the storm's easing up.
Don't go jumping the shark, bombers! I'm here to stop you! Merely a tickle! Try not to get wet!
No! I thought I could get to the side. I don't know why I keep thinking I could get to the side. Nope, there we go. Stage is a little short. It is a demo. Like, it's not even early access. It's a demo.
Sending a little something your way, Bowie.